Brazilian culture. Francisco Costa says of Brazil that it is not what you see, but it is what you feel. Once you spend time here, you get in the vibe. It is intoxicating. Before I began this project, I knew very little about Brazil other than what I have seen on television and in movies. Rio, anyone? But after much research, I have found that it is a very interesting and diverse place full of life, laughter, and a rich history. My research on Brazil took me from scholarly articles to travel websites to actual acquaintances who live in the country. Through these sources, I have learned that so much that I want to share with you, beginning with some basic facts about the country and its economy. Next, I'll go into detail on their culture, and finally, I'll tell you about some of their unique communication behaviors. The most beautiful thing about Brazil is that it is unlike any other place in the world. Gisele Bundchen. Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral claimed Brazil for Portugal in 1500, but Portuguese occupation of the country did not begin until about 1530, when the king gave grants to favorable nobles, allowing them to build a settlement, according to 2018 Culturegram's online World Edition Brazil entry. In 1822, Brazil declared its independence from Portugal, and it was an empire until about 1891, when its first constitution was written. While still technically a developing country, Brazil has the 8th largest economy in the world, which includes about 21.8 trillion US dollars in natural resources. Unfortunately, according to the 2018 Oxfam's International Online entry on Brazil, extreme inequalities in numbers, this wealth does not trickle down to the Brazilian people, as the country is decades away from wage equality, despite bringing millions out of poverty in the last few decades. The country still faces a huge gap between its richest and poorest citizens. Today, according to Currency Exchange's online website, the Brazilian real is worth $3.71 to the American dollar, which does not translate well for a regular citizen. A nation's culture resides in its hearts and in the souls of its people. Mahatma Gandhi. Brazil is a popular tourist destination due to its largely musical culture and its unique geography. According to Judith Dixon, author of Brazilian Culture Through Music, music is the heart of Brazil. Whether it is a simple family gathering or a carnival, music is the cornerstone of so many festivities and religious ceremonies. Brazilian music can be anything from soothing and inspiring to lively and energizing. Music influences Brazilian life at a great deal. Though Brazil has many musical influences, the main type of music is samba, which has a rich African style mixed with Indian and American influences. Samba is the heartbeat of Carnival, and its offshoot, bossa nova, is a mixture of American jazz and samba, which became popular in the 1960s. Brazilians love dancing almost as much as they love music. Lambada is one such well-known dance, and Foro and Frevo are also favorites in the northeastern part of Brazil. These dances are popular in dance halls, nightclubs, and at festivals. Next to its music, Brazil's geography has a huge draw for tourists and locals alike. Occupying most of its eastern portion of the continent, featuring over 4,500 miles of coastline, Brazil is the largest country in South America. Brazil is home to rainforests, mountains, and beautiful beaches. One popular tourist destination is Iguazu Falls, which sits on the borderline of Brazil and Argentina. According to the 2015 article Iguazu Falls, Why You Need to Visit, the falls stands at least 269 feet in their tallest points and have an average flow rate of 62,010 cubic feet per second, making them the largest waterfall system in the entire world. The falls are visited by over 1 million people every year and should definitely be on your bucket list of places to see. Of Brazilians, Marina Baccarin says they have a joy for life unlike any other country I have ever seen. Because Brazil is a South American country, it is often believed that Spanish is the main official language, but it is not. In fact, it can be considered culturally insensitive if you speak Spanish to a native while you were there. As we have already learned, Brazil was settled by Portugal and was influenced it to this day in many ways, the primary of which is the language. 2018 Culturegram's online World Edition entry on Brazil tells us that Portuguese is Brazil's official language, with some Spanish and indigenous languages thrown in there. Aside from having a large language almost all their own, Brazilians are also some of the most fun-loving people around. Brazilians have a sense of humor as very valuable. It is essential to be seen as good company. Brazilians are relaxed and happy, easygoing, fun-loving, and they value time spent enjoying life. Of course, timing is also important. Making jokes and being funny during serious times can be considered very disrespectful to those around you, so be sure to take cues from your natives. The Brazilians have a saying, "A união faz a forca," which means our union makes us stronger. Brazil is a country rich in tradition, family, and joy for life. Today I have shared with you information about Brazil and its economy and its government. I have also talked about their culture and their beautiful country. And finally, I provided you with some examples of their unique communicational patterns. An old Brazilian proverb translates to the between the beginning and the end. There is always a middle. Your middle should include a visit to this amazing country to absorb its unique qualities, converse with its diverse peoples, and be immersed in a culture unlike any other.